It was a cold November night in 1974 when something unthinkable shattered the peace of a quiet neighborhood in Amityville, New York. 6 members of the DeFeo family lay dead in their beds, and the truth behind the massacre would haunt this home for decades. This is the chilling true story of the Amityville murders. The family lived in a large 2-story home on 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville. But all was not well in the DeFeo household. No one ever thought the DeFeo family, once a seemingly normal, all-American family, would find themselves at the center of a gruesome episode that would haunt the community for decades. There were 7 members in the DeFeo family: Ronald DeFeo Sr., his wife Louise, and their 5 children. John, Matthew, Allison, Mark, Dawn, and the eldest of them was Ronald DeFeo Jr., who went by the nickname Butch. On the morning of November 13th, 1974, Butch took a shower, got dressed, and left for work. He used to work in an auto dealership which his father managed. He feigned ignorance as to why his father hadn't shown up for work as planned, and even called him. As the day went on, he decided to leave work and spend the afternoon with his friends. He casually mentioned to all of them that he couldn't get in touch with his family for some reason. Later that evening, Butch burst through the front door of Henry's Bar in Amityville, New York, screaming for help.
You got to help me. I think my mother and father are shot.
He was taken to the local police station for his own protection after suggesting to police officers at the scene of the crime that the killings had been carried out by a hitman named Louis Fellini. However, an interview at the station exposed serious inconsistencies in his version of events. The following day, he confessed to carrying out the killings himself and made a statement that left everyone stunned.
Once I started, I just couldn't stop. It went so fast.
Butch had shot each of his family members with a .35 caliber Marlin 336C lever-action rifle. He shot his parents twice and each of his siblings once. Officials were still in doubt, as how could all 6 victims die in their sleep without any signs of struggle? Then on November 17th, Butch told the police that he administered heavy doses of barbiturates to his family on the night they were killed. According to law enforcement officials, these sleep-inducing drugs were added to the family dinner as it was being prepared last Tuesday night at the DeFeo home. Butch confessed that he used to hear voices. He also claimed demonic voices from the house told him to kill his whole family. Besides his confessions, there are several other facts which remain a mystery. Like, why did he shot his parents twice and siblings once? Why all 6 family members were found lying with their faces down and hands raised above their heads? And how come none of the neighbors had heard gunshots, despite the fact that Butch did not use a gun silencer? Presence of demonic spirits at the Amityville house has always been a question. You might have seen this picture at some point in your life. This infamous photo is believed to be the ghost of the youngest one in the family, John Matthew. But the popular paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren have claimed something else.
This is an astonishing picture, in fact.
Yes, with infrared film.
Oh, yes.
And it's in the upstairs bedrooms. Just to the left there, you see what looks like a small boy's face looking out with bioluminescent eyes. This was the room of one of the young boys who was murdered there.
Isn't that
Now,
eerie?
a lot of people would say, well, is that the spirit of the young boy? No, it is not the spirit of the young boy, but it is a diabolical spirit with luminescent eyes that appears in that home to confuse the investigators.
But you think that is an evil spirit, Ed?
Positively. Everything about this house was evil.
Later in December 1975, a new family moved into the DeFeo's old home. George Lutz, his wife Kathy, and their 3 children stayed at the residence for just 28 days before fleeing the property in terror, claiming that the house was haunted by the spirits of the deceased DeFeos. In 1975, Ronald DeFeo Jr., aka Butch, was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 6 consecutive terms of 25 years to life in prison. These gruesome murders gave rise to a famous horror novel called The Amityville Horror, a true story, wrote by J. Anson in 1977, which gave rise to the 1979 cult classic film, The Amityville Horror. Until this day, multiple horror movies have been produced on this homicide. The prime suspect, DeFeo Jr., died in prison on March 12, 2021. As he was the sole eyewitness to this horrific incident, the exact reason for the murders will never be known. What could have been the reason? Tell us your thoughts in the comments, and keep watching Horror Archives, where we delve into cases that left everyone terrified.